is Scott from Scott Shop Media. Today is Monday, December 28th, and this is what is happening on the mountain. Of course, our biggest story for today is our winter storm. Right now, CalTrans has suspended all scheduled projects until the end of the year. Of course, if there's any emergency projects that affects the highways, you will see those crews out, but mostly you'll just see the CalTrans snow plows, which are out in force right now, keeping our highways as open as they can. Snow's been falling all morning. If you're not on the mountain right now, a little after midnight, maybe about 1 o'clock in the morning, we started seeing snow, at least here in Lake Arrowhead. Snow level is pretty low, and so the chain patrol, chain check is really low too, maybe around the 4,000 foot level, but expect it to drop if this storm gets any colder. And definitely R2 conditions, which means have your chains with you. If you're an inexperienced driver, if you don't have good mud and snow tires, or you're not four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, you need to have those chains on. Like I said, there's a winter storm warning in effect until midnight tonight. Expect maybe a foot of snow in many of the mountain communities by the time this is over with. There was a structure fire reported in Twin Peaks this morning. Conflicting reports, not a lot of details. The incident log is still open. Not quite sure if it was a car fire, a structure fire, a false alarm. The incident log was left open for some reason. But again, not a load of details. But if you're over there on 189 and you're in Twin Peaks and see emergency equipment, that's what's going on. There were 19 crimes reported on the mountain over the long holiday weekend. I'll post a map of where those were happening. So if you saw some law enforcement activity over the weekend, that's what was going on. Currently just one Edison outage due to the weather, and it's only affecting 8 customers over in the Twin Peaks area. And contrary to a debate that I was having on one of the local Facebook pages, Southern California Edison does not do power outages. They don't do schedule or emergency power outages due to the snow. They will for wildfire threat, but the only time an Edison outage will happen is if there is a scheduled maintenance or if there's an emergency outage due to damage to the infrastructure. But they don't preemptively cut power to Crestline just because there's snow. And then lastly, almost 300 new COVID cases reported on the mountain over the long holiday weekend. So that's what I have for you in a nutshell. If you'd like to stick around for a few more minutes, we'll go into greater detail, starting with our traffic. You can see chain control is in place on all mountain highways right now, down about halfway on most of the roads, Middle Pass area on the 330, down in Angeles Oaks on the 38, and looks like maybe Upper Waterman Canyon-ish. Expect that to lower on the 18. And of course, across all the mountain highways, going across the rim and down through the valleys through the canyons into Crestline, Lake Arrowhead, Running Springs, and then Big Bear. Expect all of the county roads to require chains as well. There were lots of traffic accidents reported this morning. Nothing super serious, but a lot of the roads are blocked with delivery trucks. I know there was a big jackknife over here at the Crestline Bridge this morning. It's taken them a while to clear. Recently, there was an ambulance that was crashed into in Big Bear. They were rolling Code 3 all the way down to San Diego to transport somebody, not sure if they had chains on or not. I'm sure the ambulance did, but the person who crashed into them, I'm not sure if they had chains on, but they certainly made a bad situation even worse. So chain up if you're driving. In fact, even better news, if you don't have to be out on the mountain roads today, unless you're going to work, unless there's an emergency, please try to avoid the highway. Give CalTrans and county roads plenty of time to get those roads cleared and safe. Weather, we are currently under a winter storm warning until midnight tonight. Expect maybe up to a foot of snow in many mountain communities by the time this is done. That storm will move out tonight. It'll be replaced with some partly cloudy skies with some breezy conditions, and then becoming mostly sunny through the rest of the week. And next chance of a storm looks like it might be early next week in the new year. We will definitely keep you updated. We see some strong winds today and tomorrow as the storm moves out, and then New Year's Eve into New Year's morning, maybe even some stronger winds as we make way for our next winter storm. Currently, we have, as far as our hazardous weather threat matrix goes, we're under major snow for almost a foot of snow, potential for some thunderstorms. So we got some alerts this morning. I didn't hear any, but there's the possibility of thunderstorms today. And certainly down below the snow level, expect some runoff, some urban rain, and local flooding down below as you go up and down those mountain roads. Fortunately, our wildfire danger has been minimized because of this winter storm. There was a structure fire reported this morning in Twin Peaks. The incident log is still open, and there hasn't been a lot of details added to it. So I wasn't quite sure if it was a false alarm or what was going on over there. But if you are on 189 and saw emergency vehicles as early as 6:30 this morning, that's what's going on in Twin Peaks. There were a handful of crimes reported over the holiday weekend. I will post this separately, so if you saw any law enforcement activity in your neighborhood over the holiday, you can see what was going on. But it ranged a lot of DUI, drug and alcohol related calls, as well as burglaries, which is common this time of year for both the rim communities and the Big Bear Valley. Only one Southern California Edison outage reported today due to equipment problems in Twin Peaks affecting 8 customers. There hasn't been any other storm-related damage, and like I mentioned in the introduction, Edison doesn't make a habit of shutting off our power like they would if there was a threat of a wildfire, just because we are getting snow. And so we wouldn't expect any widespread power outages through this storm, unlike last Thanksgiving, a year ago Thanksgiving, where we had a lot of wet snow in a short period of time and caused a lot of damage to the infrastructure. Biggest story maybe is the 296 new COVID-19 cases reported on the mountain over the holiday weekend. 16 new cases in Angeles Oaks, 49 in Big Bear City, 29 in Big Bear Lake, 13 in Blue Jay, 69 in Crestline, 10 Forest Falls, 2 new cases in Green Valley Lake, 39 for Lake Arrowhead, 1 new case in Rim Forest, 44 new cases in Running Springs, 10 in Sugarloaf, and 14 in Twin Peaks. Most of our mountain communities are under widespread risk under the state's 4-tier risk matrix. How does that look by region? Bear Valley, 670 cases, Rim Communities, 847 cases, bringing our totals just about to 3%. Actually, the average is just over 3%. Our state's 4-tier risk system is widespread for both Bear Valley and Rim for the past, for a 7-day average trailing 7 days. But overnight, those numbers are 118 new cases per 100,000 for the Rim communities, which is a little bit better than the rest of the county, at 175 cases per 100,000. But the state's at 90, and about half of that for the rest of the country. So we have some work to do if we want to put a stop to COVID and we want to get our county and our mountain communities and businesses back open again. The good news is we should start seeing some vaccinations available to the general public over the next few months. That will hopefully help as well. So again, this is Scott from Scott Shot Media. Feel free to email me or text me and follow along on Facebook on what is happening on the mountain, or on my other social media channels, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at Scott Shot Media for late breaking news. Have a wonderful day.